Welcome, bienvenue, welcome once again to another live stream. You may recognize some of these now more famous than famous faces. Sandra Dee Robinson, of course, the charisma coach. Sandy Hart, the sales synergist of Sales Excellence Elite. And myself, Gareth Wax, a man of many hats. Now, I'm hoping that some of you are aware that by now we have grouped together with the redoubtable Lee Tunney-Ware, who unfortunately, due to work commitments, cannot be with us right this second. But what we do is we're trying to help more people and more businesses do better. So together we're known as the Four Horsemen. We're part of something called the Entrepreneur Genius Group. And if you want to be part of that, you can be too. Sandy Hart, tell us more.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, everyone. It is the most exciting time on the planet. The ability to serve, to truly ride as the Four Horsemen and lift the entrepreneurial world to completely new heights. Because for me, recognizing that so many people shrink from selling. The word sales has a horrific reputation on the planet, and the stories that go around it make people naturally avoid sales and selling. And yet when you expand your horizon and your vision to recognize that sales are merely the bridge between your ideal clients' pain and promised land, and that you really are that bridge, all your experience, all your years, all your heart, soul, sweat, and tears have gone into building this incredible bridge that you get to lead them across, not the troll under the bridge, which is what most of us think that sales are. Business fee, how dare you want to cross my bridge? And it's like, please let me show you the bridge and the results of the product and the service that you provide to this world, and to really step in and grab onto your charisma that Sandra Dee helps with, and then bringing in Lee Tunney-Ware, who has changed so many lives.
He certainly has.
Yes, yep. Right. And yourself, Gareth, our LinkedIn obsessive, who will tell you straight up how to step up and stand out on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn being such a rising platform. So getting to do this together has been just the most magnificent experience. So excited to be here.
I tell you what, it's been one of the more prominent changing portions of my life, just the last few months together working on this. Sandra Dee Robinson, Why should people spend their hard-earned cash, all $17 of it, and also their hard-bitten time to come to spend some time with us? Why?
You know what? I look at it like this. I think it was Lee Tunney-Ware who says that he spells time, L-I-F-E. And we can make more money. Not that we want to waste money. We can make more money. You can't make more time. So actually, it's a time investment that I want to encourage people to take, because we're spending our time because we know that we're bringing something amazing. So it was so interesting saying that today. We always have this synergy that happens with all of us anyway, which is interesting. But we didn't plan what we're going to talk about here today, but you talked about the fear that goes around with being seen. And that's exactly the same fear that I deal with, because when I'm helping people to step out, a lot of people will, especially if they're introverts. I work with all kinds, but introverts in particular today I'm going to talk about, because they will shrink away from the spotlight. They'll put off doing video. They will shrink away from even doing sales presentations, getting up on a stage, presenting their business, even giving testimonials. There is something that clicks in their head and goes, oh, that doesn't feel good. I don't want to do it. And so like you teach them, hey, they're not the troll under the bridge. You're actually selling this amazing bridge, right? You're not selling yourself. You're selling the bridge is something else that you say, Sandy, that I think really sticks. And so when you realize that you are serving people and your focus goes on that, it's a lot easier to show up and do the video and get up on stage. And I myself was paralyzed with fear from being my authentic self. I was an actress. Being somebody else was really, really easy. But when I had to be myself, even meeting fans, that's a horrible confession. I was not sometimes that friendly. I would run away.
That's pretty scary.
what I stood for. Yeah, but if you know what you stand for, as you do, Gareth, right? And you do, Sandy, and Lee definitely does. We know what we stand for, and we will defend it no matter what. When you come from that place, it really is something that is going to empower you and not only just get you out there in the spotlight on stage, confidently leading your team, but to really step into the point where you love it, where you can actually enjoy it. Like you can enjoy sales. You can enjoy telling people go to your LinkedIn page because you have created something that you are proud of. You are confident. And that's what I want to make sure that you understand we're bringing to you tomorrow. And I know it says 6 o'clock when you go to the little QR code that you see on the screen there will take you to the registration for tomorrow. And it is all of $17. It's not about the money. It's just putting a stake in the ground to make sure that you come and get some of the nuggets that Lee and Sandy and Gareth and I are going to be sharing with you. And one of those really easy nuggets that I'll share with you right now is when you're doing video, make sure that you are like we are right now in the screen. Very simple thing, even for your Zoom calls, folks. You want to be framed like we're framed right now. Every single one of us is doing the right thing. The wrong thing is that. So when you look at the two of us right now, which one of us looks less influential? Gotta be me. Right?
Way back in the background there.
Yes, but we've all seen this. You sit in Zoom calls with people, you take meetings with people, and they do that. And instantly you are feeding them something with your body language and your positioning that is actually not accurate. You're coming across as being less than, weaker than, not authoritative, less influential than you actually are. Little tiny things like that, when you bring yourself into the right light and the right position, going to make you feel a lot better and make you want to do more outreach and stand in the spotlight a little bit more and talk about your message and your business. And that's what we're going to bring to you tomorrow. Now, the time for me here in Central, I'm in Austin, Texas. So Central Texas, we're going to be on at 12 noon. East Coast US is going to be 1. And then if you're talking like West Coast.
Yes,
yeah.
It is 10 a.m.
10 a.m. There you go. So we're coming to you from all over the world, it seems, and we're ready to tell you whatever that time zone is. If you go to the registration page, there's a link up above that says time zone calculator, so you can figure out for yourself just where that is. But we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And Gareth, pop on up here and tell us a little bit about LinkedIn. I know you're going to have at least one really juicy nugget.
I'm afraid I am. Look, guys, this is the time. Now is the time. Not in a year's time, not in 6 months' time. Now's the time to take control of your destiny. And all I mean by that is when you show up, it's about showing up consistently. And do you know what? LinkedIn is no different from anywhere else. All LinkedIn is a big, vast database of businesses and people. They all want to be sold to, but they are ready there to be influenced. And the only way you can influence them is you've got the charisma to put yourself front and center. And as Sandy says, and I'm going to steal one of her favorite lines, is if you aren't closing deals and asking for the sales, it's not a business. It's a hobby at best. Now, if you want to have a hobby, that's great. And I commend you to it. It's a good way to spend your time. But if you want to pay for those bills, if you want to pay for the roof over your head, if you want to feed your family and look yourself in the mirror daily and think, I can do this, it's me that's doing it, it's my work, my effort that's doing that, then you need to be able to ask for that sale. Now, I'm going to say something that's a little bit, it's going to shake a few people. I don't want you to sell on LinkedIn. I never want you to sell on LinkedIn. What I want you to do is to show up as your authentic self. And I know the A word has got a lot of bad press recently, but being authentic doesn't mean turning up and being an a-hole. It means another A word. It means turning up and saying to people who you are so they can buy into you as a person, so they can believe that you really do have their best interest at heart. And that you have integrity yourself, and that the efforts that you put into them are likely to lead to something positive. So LinkedIn tip for today, I'm going to give you 2. There's a new feature on LinkedIn that some people know it there, but some people don't, called the services section. Now, the great thing about the services section is the first time they've given people ability to ask or to be ready for a quote. So if you're a business that provides a service or even a suite of products, you can even give a preliminary quotation at that point, just straight from there. Literally, and if you set that up, make sure that you define your business type within LinkedIn as being whatever you're doing. So, for instance, if you used to be a trainer and now you're selling floor tiles, for goodness sake, change it over. Otherwise, you'll be judged by the wrong metrics. Now, the second tip I'm going to tell you about is all about the additional name. Now, people may not be aware, but you can have your first name, your last name, and an additional name. Now, I got fed up fairly often of saying, here's my URL. It's https // very tedious. Instead, I just say, if you're trying to find me, then search for 3 words: Gareth, wax, inspiration, because my additional word is inspiration. So I recommend each of you find a sort of unique, interesting word that describes you. So for instance, Sandy Hart could be Sandy Hart Synergist. Sandra Dee Robinson could be Sandra Dee Robinson Charisma. Mm-hmm. So that means that all they have to do is search for Sandy Hart Synergist in Google, not in LinkedIn, in Google, and up she'll pop like that. They are searchable phrases, and they do work within SEO. So those are my 2 tips for today. Let me just briefly talk to you about what you're going to come away with, and then what I'll do is I'll play you something which I'm very proud of, which we're all proud of, which was some comments made in the after hours, which they allowed me to record their impressions of what we were doing and what they'd achieved for them in that short period of time. And this was from not last session, but the session before. I've got a few more coming in from the last session, but I haven't edited them on yet. But let me just explain. These are going to be your takeaways. By the end of the 60-minute period, wherein you'll have had 15 minutes with each one of us, you'll understand much more about how to step out of your own way. How to be able to not get your mind set, but be aware, so self-aware that you can step out of being in your own path. Then you're going to learn how to perfect how you show up so that people believe in you because of the way you project. Just that little tip by Sandra Dee there. That'll change a lot of things. And then with, of course, incredible Sandy Hart, you're going to learn to stop being ashamed of asking for the order, damn it. You've done the work, you're doing the work, you should get paid what you're worth. You know, you own the bridge. And then finally, with me, you're going to learn not just so much tips, but how to have that mindset approach to the way in which you do LinkedIn, that it's far more likely to bring in people who are interested in knowing more about how you do what you do. Now, I'm not anti-AI. I know a lot of people are out there, but I squint my eyes up and I look at LinkedIn at the moment, and it feels like a lot of AI trying to sell to a lot of AI. So let's break that mold. I want you to bring the human aspect of yourself across, so that people see you as real.
I love the spelling mistakes.
Oh my God.
It's like,
right.
Leave some of those spelling mistakes in, for goodness sakes.
It's true.
So
You
look,
already have to try for that. I make that happen anyway. So
yeah, but you know what, with Sandra Dee, joking aside, about 80% of the Western world now live and die by Grammarly.
yes, yeah.
And here's the problem, right? If you're using AI and you've got Grammarly on top of that, then it's all spelt beautifully. Makes no sense whatsoever, but it's all spelt beautifully. I'd rather that you put across stuff as opinion rather than fact, because AI tends to present everything as fact. I want you to then put, this is from my experience, from the way in which I've lived my life, I believe this to be true. You'll get a lot more people wanting to comment and interact with you. And I think this goes throughout everything.
The right people. the people that are right for you. Yes.
Exactly. So look, we're getting lots of thumbs up and hearts. Thanks, guys. That's lovely.
Amazing.
All I can say is, I think on Wednesday it will be great. I think you're going to learn a lot from there. It's $17. Follow the link, wherever it is, over there somewhere. Thank you. Sandra Dee's got more control of her fingers than I do.
You must buy into your future. You have to invest in your future. And it's not just the time, because it is a very proven psychological, when you invest in you, you pay attention and you show up as 100% of you. And what Sandra Dee I think all of us, and the magic that the Four Horsemen bring is stop playing small.
Yes.
Stop hiding, because I think it's so human. We do these great websites and we do these great, whatever, but we don't step out in front of the camera. We have all the people. I mean, we had Liz on last time. I'm great behind the camera, not so great in front of the camera.
Got to change it.
Yeah. Photographer highlights the rest of the world. And so, stop playing small. Show up for yourself tomorrow.
Be so glad that you did. So glad you did. Do we
want
to
show them what? So I'm going to quickly play some testimonials, and guys, please. These people, none of them were forced. These are people who wanted to say what they felt.
I've learned so much from 4 real experts, and to find 4 real experts inside one screen over an hour is an extraordinary privilege, and it's been a huge benefit to learn from these 4 great minds.
I found actionable items that will move my business forward starting this afternoon, just from this introductory session from each of the 4 speakers.
I was writing down basically, everybody was superb. And there is so much to learn. I would say that, first of all, what I'm so detached about is the LinkedIn. So perhaps this is unfortunately, the stress I'm going to make. It's on LinkedIn. Forgive me, everybody. Posting the same content, which I have been thinking about and I've been trying to work now. That has given me the answer to do it.
And I cannot possibly summarize all of it, but my mind is buzzing with all the amazing gold I got. I've got a pile of notes here on mindset, charisma, sales, integrity, and LinkedIn. And I've got shitloads to do. Thank you so much for this amazing session.
There, I hope you guys can see that there is absolute benefit from being there. My thanks to my 2 fellow horsemen, and it's a shame that Lee's not here, but he will be with us. Don't you worry.
Yes.
And I'm going to repeat this live and post it out tomorrow as well for all those who might have missed it. Thank you so much, Sandra Dee. Thank you so much, Sandy Hart.
And the global presence, when you listen to those people, everyone is from around the world. That is the best part about the ability to show up in a room like this. It's such an honor.
And a final note, we said that was after hours, so be prepared. We're going to give you 60 minutes of content. But if you've got questions and you want to have some real one-on-one time, that's what happens in the after hours. So don't just think, I'm barely going to give it 60 minutes. Give it a little extra for yourself.
90.
And that's where the gold really comes in, and you'll get a sense of what it's like to work with us. So
I'm going to make a statement. Anybody who doesn't feel like they've had at least one light bulb moment, I'll give them their money back. No problem. No questions asked. Come along. Sure, pay you $17. You don't think you get at least $17 worth of value? No problem.
Oh,
Money straight back to you. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. And
See you
I
tomorrow.
look forward to seeing you there. Bye-bye now.
See you soon.